Hey everybody, this is John, and yesterday was day 100 post last transfusion. So, it's a big celebration. I'm happy about that. A little over 14 weeks. So, yeah, this looks like it's pretty successful. Although it's not official until the 12-month mark, but things are looking that way. My hemoglobin's been over 13, over 12 and a half and 13. So I'm extremely happy. And the other day, I had my first phlebotomy to get rid of the excess iron. I can't have chelation until 6 months after the gene therapy, but I'm just going to strictly go with the phlebotomy because that's the most effective way of getting iron out of a normal person. Of course, when you're anemic and you're getting transfused, you can't phlebotomize somebody. So the next best thing is either desferal or oral iron chelation such as Jadenu or deferriprone. So yeah, I'm doing the phlebotomy. I feel great after the phlebotomy. I'm fine. I'm going to get checked again in 6 weeks, make sure my hemoglobin's adequate enough to get phlebotomized, see where my ferritin's at, and then I'll probably do that. I imagine no more than not even a year or half a year. So, we'll see, where that goes. But, this whole experience, has not been bad at all. It's hard to believe that I was just starting this in March, at the end of March, and now it's been 100 days since my last transfusion, like over 120 days or 115 or so since I really started the whole process. So, from the time I got admitted to the hospital. So yeah, it's really exciting. And I know everybody's worried about this chemotherapy, but it's really not. It sucks. Don't get me wrong, but it's not the worst thing in the world. You have a few days of feeling really like crap. The mucositis gets pretty bad, so that was a good, solid 7 to 10 days of, feeling like I was swallowing razor blades, and my tongue had big sores on it. Was it worth it? Hell yeah, it was worth it. It sucked, but it was totally worth it. The long-term effects are, my hair, it's finally kind of starting to grow back. A lot of people are concerned about that. I'd like my hair to grow back, but, it's not a deal breaker on my end, and it's coming back. Facial hair is coming back a little bit. Hair on my arms and legs is starting to come back. My skin was really dry, on my lower legs and my hands for a while. That's kind of resolving. And no other real long-term effects. I'm still a little tired off and on, but overall my energy's great. I could work a whole day without feeling like I'm going to die at the end of my shift. I've been working a lot of overtime. I've been picking up those days where I had transfusions and I've been working, or I've been doing fun stuff. My time's not sucked up by these appointments, typing cross match, 2 to 3 days before my transfusion and all this other stuff that takes up a lot of time and effort. So I think that's the best part. I'm not having to worry about making all these appointments, traveling to the hospital, the doctor's office, and all of that stuff. Plus, my future's different now. I might have like older adult or middle-aged adult problems that come along, but at least I don't have the thalassemia to worry about. That was my main goal. I wanted to grow old normally, and that kind of changes, where I can go in the future. If I want to retire out of the country, or if I want to live somewhere that they don't have the best thalassemia care, I don't have to worry about that anymore. So that's a huge burden off my shoulders. Other than that, if anybody has anything that they want to ask me, feel free to add that in the comments or email me, or find me on Facebook or whatever the case may be. But yeah, feel free to reach out. And if you're starting this process, it's scary. It's hard to find a good place to go, and it's hard to get the insurance to work out. And I'm not the expert, but it took me 3 appeals, one of them at the federal level, to get this done because they said I was too old, which is kind of nonsense because I was physically healthy. So I got that taken care of. And when you're just starting this process, you just got to keep pushing, keep going for it. If you sit back and accept defeat, then you're not going to get it. If you take that first denial and get frustrated, then it's never going to happen. And if you're young and before you start working, this is might be a perfect time to do it, because when you get older, it's going to be hard working full time and doing all these things, and you might not have the family support that you do now. And yeah, better treatments are on the horizon with maybe no chemotherapy. I mean, that could be 10 or 20 years, who knows? And I think a lot of people are also too worried about their health and things like that when, I mean, blood transfusions in themselves carry a lot of risk. So, anyhow, I'm not going to keep going on about that. That's for every person to make their own decision. And anyhow, I mentioned previously about younger people getting this done while they had resources and things available. But the other thing is, a lot of older patients are scared to get this done. And I just wanted to say, I personally think that the chemotherapy fear is overblown, and all these little, worries. I mean, yeah, they're concerning. They're scary. I mean, especially I was worried about the immuno-occlusive disease of the liver, but it didn't happen. I mean, just like everything in life has risks. And, I'm just, I'm not going to keep going on about it. I just want to say, don't be scared. You guys got this. If you want it, get it. So I'll talk to you soon.